The first TEDxBrookhouseSchool was organized last year in November with an audience of 100 high school students from 6 schools in Nairobi and a few adults. When my director asked me to organize this event, I had no clue what TED or TEDx meant, and neither did he. So I started watching TED Talks, and in a few days' time, I was completely hooked. I picked up a date which happened to be the TEDxYouth Day, and then asked some staff and students to come onto my committee, and together we started showing TED Talks to the boarding students every Friday evening, and then in a short while we started showing at least 3 talks in 3 different venues in the secondary school, once in a week at lunch breaks. Richard Turere is the inspiration behind this event. He was only a few weeks old at our school when he was asked to participate in TED Talent Search in Nairobi, and that's actually what got us curious. So we asked the students to apply if they wanted to be speakers at the event. Richard was one of the speakers, together with 9 other students. Some of them were our students and alumni, and 3 performers. This board was done by one of the speakers just a day before the event. And he asked the audience to go define themselves during the break on that wall. That's how the wall looked like at the end of the event. TEDx Baltimore featured his video early this year and got him to speak to their audience on Skype. We only involved the secondary students at our event, though I had introduced the idea to the prep school. So these kids said they wanted to be more involved, and what we did is start a club this year. We have 15 members aged between 10 to 12, and we meet every Wednesday, watch TED Talks, and hold some very good discussions with them. Another good positive response is that the students at our school asked if they could support Richard's project. So we've been raising funds and getting the kids to go install the lion lights themselves. What are the greatest challenges that I faced organizing this event? I found myself introducing a completely new thing to a very busy environment. So I did not get very quick results. I could not create a very quick excitement, especially amongst the teaching staff who were very busy. That posed a problem because I needed people who could start working with the kids, training the speakers. But I got a few people who were willing to do it, though they didn't have a lot of time with them. But 2 weeks to the event, I got a lady who had spoken at TEDx Mid-Atlantic, and she volunteered to work with the kids, and that worked very well for me. It was also not very easy to get a filmmaker who could work with us according to the requirements of TED. And I only got someone who could do it the night before the event. What worked very well for me, the many, many well-detailed websites of TEDx Youth events became my toolkit. The TEDx community was also very helpful. I spoke a lot to Nate and Saj Salman of TEDx Baltimore, and I always knew that they were just an email away. I also had a very supportive school management. They funded the whole event, so I didn't have to go looking for sponsors. And I also had a very enthusiastic group of kids who, from the minute I introduced the idea, they went full swing. They would put up posters, get the kids to go watch the TED Talks. And yes, our vision now is to hold more events in the future. Thank you.